Hi, Cory Geiger, Neil Rudel live at Kinnick Stadium Saturday night. 24-3 win for Iowa over Penn State. 8 out of 9 now Iowa has beaten the Nittany Lions. Why is this team just so difficult for Penn State to figure out?
I don't know about that they can't figure them out. I just think Iowa's bigger, stronger. You just do better. I mean, they're just better prepared, and this is who Penn State is. They are relying on a freshman quarterback who is a competitor who'll be better in a couple of years. But I don't think they have the offensive line. Their defense is in transition, a lot of injuries, and kind of a performance that I sort of expected a loss, but I thought they'd compete better.
Well, let's kind of do a little bit of positive here first. There's plenty to pick apart here. The one positive is that I thought the offense did some things that we needed them to see. Rolling Bolden out, getting him involved, not just letting him stand back there in the pocket to get killed by Adrian Claiborne and Broderick Betts. I thought the game plan was pretty good in terms of how they wanted to attack Iowa.
Until they got to some plays.
Hang on, let's keep it positive, though. that part, though,
yeah,
you have to feel good about that.
Yeah, and Bolden, he throws the slant pretty well. Royster ran tough at times. Their defense, again, settled down after it allowed a couple scores, similar to Alabama. They called the timeout in the third quarter that they didn't call in the second quarter. So I guess those are some of the positives, but I think it's a fairly short list.
Right. Now the negatives, the abysmal clock management at the end of the first half. You have to take a timeout with 6 seconds there. Regroup. Joe's excuse was ridiculous, frankly, that they would only get one. You could have gotten 2 plays off in 6 seconds. You throw a real quick item to the slant to the end zone. If it's incomplete, you have 1-2 seconds left to kick the field goal or do whatever.
Yeah, I don't know that they could have gotten 2 plays off.
6 seconds is plenty of time in with the 3-yard line.
So you think that they were going to be able to get 2 plays off and then the field goal?
No, 1 play.
One play. Oh yeah, of course,
right.
of course.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think they could have gotten 2.
No, but you got to take a time out there to set that up.
Yeah. Well, what they thought though, they thought they should be able to get the spike in 1 second. It did seem 3 seconds is a lot, but you're on the road, and that's kind of what can happen.
Here's the issue: when Joe's always talking about he's getting out coached, that's why you got to take a time out there.
Well, he kind of looked like he wanted it, but again, he's removed from the scene. McQueary's signaling these things in, and I think that's a product of what you have. I mean, Joe has trouble hearing, period, let alone in front of 70,000 people, and I think some of that they mismanaged that situation.
And the red zone is just terrible. The red zone offense, they get down to the 1st and goal with the 10 later on. In the third quarter, you get a touchdown there at 17-10. You got 3rd and goal at the 1, and you run the most predictable play that Penn State's been running for 50 years, and that goes for nothing. And then you have a timid quarterback who doesn't know how to attack the line of scrimmage, and he gets stopped short.
He did. I mean, that was a good play by Iowa, but I think that, and Joe sort of admitted that when he said, I think we're asking too much of the freshman, and I think he was speaking to that play. I don't think it was the right call, for a freshman quarterback. Sometimes I feel like if you can't make 1 yard, you don't deserve to win. You gave the ball to your fullback, who's become a little bit your bread and butter short yardage guy. He didn't make it. I think you pinned some of that on an offensive line.
We could talk about this part for 15 minutes, but I will preach this until I'm blue in the face. Kevin Newsom should have been running the ball on that play. He's got 15 to 20 pounds on Rob Bolden. He could have lowered his shoulder. If you're going to have Kevin Newsom on this team, use him. You're flat wasting this guy, just like Darrell Clark was wasted behind Anthony Morrell.
I agree with that. I don't think you stick Newsom in there on 3rd or certainly not 4th down, run him in there to run that 4th down play. I think you have to get him ready for these types of situations.
They had 3 weeks before that against Kent State and Temple to get him ready, and they didn't do that, which is another bad coaching decision.
I agree.
All right, for Neil Rudel, I'm Cory Geiger. Tough 24-3 loss. Thanks so much for tuning in.